from which they finished last season?
Well, I think it has to be said first that he did a very good job, and he came in so late 3 seasons back, just before the start of the First Division, given the job to try and get them out of that, which he did. Yeah. Very stable run last year, and not doing great this year. And I'm sure that he was disappointed with some of the players that he brought in that didn't really do very well. I mean, Dennis Bean didn't contribute the goals you might have expected. Daryl Kavanagh didn't contribute the goals that they would have hoped for either. And Danny Furlong, he didn't get to play too often. So he brought in some other players who didn't get them the results. But I don't know whether he was given sufficient resources for them to have a greater expectation than where they are in the table. They're in what I think is relatively comfortable in mid-table. You're saying that they're in a situation of 6 points between them and the bottom. I think they're not in such a bad place at all. And I think it's harsh to get me in the manager now. The transfer window was closed. I don't know what they're going to achieve between now and the end of the season by removing the manager at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, Pat, what do you think was the factor that influenced the Cork board to let Tommy go at this stage of the season?
I think they're playing Cork City at the Cross on Friday. They'll want to win that game. And, you know, sometimes you chop and change. It gives a little bit of impetus, doesn't it? The dressing room gets freshened up and players are able to produce a performance. They beat Bohemians. It's almost done and dusted. They're not going to go down. But I feel really sorry for Tommy. I've been down in Cork myself. It's a wonderful place to be, but the pressure's enormous. The Cork Mafia will all be having their view. And, you know, people often say it's a results business. And obviously an element of deciding whether you should keep or fire a manager, you know, that's a truism that will never go away, but it's more than just a results business. There has to be a family atmosphere. Your club should be like your family, and there has to be love. And I think that when you bring someone from the outside like Tommy, a great footballing family, he deserved more time. And I think the time to reflect on whether the signings were good enough, because some of them clearly weren't, was at the end of the season. And I think it's harshly done by. A couple of weeks ago they beat Sligo at home. 2 weeks ago they went to the potential champions and gave a great performance, very unlucky. And this is a Munster derby. Limerick spent a lot of money. It's hardly a surprise. So I think he's hard done by.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Tommy will be back in football as soon